Good morning, my son. As you know, I like to read book. When I was young, almost all my knowledge was from reading books. Yes, nowadays, we are obtaining information from internet, and less read a book. But, it does not mean that the value to read book has been denied. Actually, there are many books which you'd better to read when you are young. If focus on science, such as On the Revolutions of the Heavenly Spheres, by Copernicus. On the Origin of Species, by Charles Darwin. Silent Spring, by Rachel Carson. Actually, many books. I think it deserves to read when you are in initial stage of your science study. These books may change your way of view and give you some inspiration. Copernicus removed Earth from center point of universe. Darwin pushed human next line of apes. Rachel Carson gave us doubt for highly civilized society. But today, I want to introduce another book. The Selfish Gene, by Richard Dawkins. It has been published in 1976, already long before. But, still it is popular among people, and translated to 13 languages in the world. Actually, this book is focusing evolutionarily stable strategy, but it's challenged On the Origin of Species, by Charles Darwin. Indeed, Darwin himself discovered contradiction of his theory. As you know, one of the core idea of Darwin is natural selection. I have to explain. Many people took a misunderstand about principle of natural selection. Typical case is the question, why giraffe has long neck? Natural selection will not happen by effort of species. Just performance of DNA. Upon this logic, DNA works on individual. However, Darwin recognized strange performance of giraffe, according to his observation. And, it was quite contradictory, against his theory. This is called altruistic behavior, in short, kindness. You know it as an opposite meaning of selfish. As a logic, individual has to be selfish to win their survival game. Therefore, this is great contradiction. Why? They have to sacrifice themselves for other species. Dawkins settled this contradiction by unique description, organisms are vehicles for genes. Do you know the reason why mommy and daddy take care you? Why a worker bee will protect queen bee, although it creates risk for him? Why male lion will protect their family, even though it is risk for him? If evolution system is simple natural selection, these actions are not advantage for them, definitely. So, from this point of view, Dawkins suggested one theory. Natural selection works on, not individual, but on group. This is the idea of group selection. But, this idea itself, there is contradiction. For example, if even one selfish individual stay in the group, this group has to collapse, soon or later. In the general survival game, selfish individual is strongest. Therefore, Dawkins considered, it is not an act of individual or group, but it is an act of DNA itself in their pool. He quoted example by behavior of bee, because they are social insects. Actually, all worker bee does not have property of fertility. Cannot produce his kids. And they are working for queen bee only. Male bee will come to queen only when they have to work for fertility, produce baby. DNA point of view, this male has only half DNA, compare with queen bee. For your easy understanding, let me define, male has X DNA, and queen bee has A and B DNA. After queen bee delivered baby, DNA probability of this baby is X plus A, or X plus B. And afterwards, queen bee delivered another baby, sister of first baby. In here, DNA probability of this baby shall be X plus A, or X plus B again. In this case, probability, first baby, and second baby has same DNA shall be 75%, because they have common DNA of father, X but after time goes, this first princess has baby, with another male bee. And, this male bee has another DNA, compare with her daddy. Let me mark down, DNA of this husband, as, Y. In this case, DNA probability of her daughter shall be only 50%. As a DNA point of view, 25% less chance of original DNA. After long chain, eventually, originality of first generation becomes thin, and thin. Then, DNA system prefers that, ask mother queen bee to deliver many kids. And, disallow their kids, to have fertility, property to deliver baby. Of course, it happens, not just one, or, 2 generations. But, spent bulky volume of time flow, and gradually being modified. That's mean, in short, in their DNA pool, DNA itself is carrying out survival game. Not individual species, and individual species. DNA itself removes unnecessary, inferior DNA, from their pool. In this case, although they have selfish gene, inside of their DNA pool, smart DNA can gradually eliminate unnecessary DNA. DNA designed are characteristic as suitable for survival game. Such as, love feeling of mother to take care its kids. Love feeling of, boy to girl, or girl to boy. Why, boy will be brave to protect his girlfriend. All these are, due to DNA instinct to win the DNA survival game in the pool. As Dawkins described, organisms are, vehicles for genes. We are just body of this vehicle, and driver, programmer is, DNA. If you have further curiosity, I highly recommend you to read, this The Selfish Gene.
As the journey continues.